Hi guys, welcome to my niece TV Zealots. My name is Denise, and my partner in crime is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi, so glad that you guys are here watching this video with us. We are here to break down episode 10 of season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, The Red Angel. It's taken 10 weeks, but we have finally gotten to see who the Red Angel is. If you haven't seen the episode, spoiler alert. That's it. Okay, we're jumping in. So, So we're going to start off talking about Arium. At the end of episode 9, Project Daedalus, she sacrifices herself, which I was a mess. They really did it so well, getting to know her like all in one episode and then killing her. And I was like, oh, I felt it. How did they do that to me? Anyway, I was a mess last week for no reason. Anyway, but she was being controlled by the artificial intelligence that helps run Section 31. They wanted all of the information from the centuries-old sphere, and Arium had sent about 25% of it to the artificial intelligence called Control. So now they're dismantling it. Section 31, Leland and Giorgio have come back to the Enterprise, the Discovery. And so they had their beautiful funeral for Arium, which I thought was an appropriate send-off. So let's talk about Spock and Michael really quick. I have one thought before I let Denise go into this. I have one quick thought. I feel like Spock is like that younger sibling that just like says stuff like in public in front of other people, like telling all your business, you know? Which I thought was really cute. But in the last episode, Project Daedalus, in episode 9, he was like goading her, like trying to get her to give a reaction because he's upset. He wants her to be upset. You know, like that's kind of like a sibling thing. He's like, oh, why don't you just blame your parents' death on yourself? Why don't you just go in and say, oh yeah, I did literally cause the Klingon War. Millions of people died only because of me. He's like, yeah, of course, everything you could do, you know, can change the universe. Like, who do you think you are? He's like, when your parents died, you were stuck on the trapped. He said trapped. You're trapped on the other side of the door. You listen to them die. There's nothing you could do. And at the very end of Project Daedalus, she's trapped on the other side of the door watching Arium die. And I was just like, ah, like screaming.
I know, it's crazy because he just gives it to her straight. And I feel like that's how it should be between siblings. And that's been my experience with my siblings. Like, we give it to them straight. Like, this is the way I feel about it, and this is the way it is. And you just have to open your eyes to see it. You know, you gotta, sometimes you're too close to it,
right,
to see things as they are, as they, you know. So it's
and
like,
whether or not you have friends like better best friends, or you and your siblings aren't close, that's still a person that knows you better than anyone else. No matter what kind of falling out you had, like Michael and Spock did, he still knows her more than anyone else. And this season, we've gotten to know Burnham so much more because of Spock, which I think is amazing. The scene after she finally finds out that Leland is the one who's responsible for her parents' death, she's in there.
oh my God, when she hit him, I was like, yes. And then she hit him again. I was like, yes. I was like, now hit him one more time for yourself.
Okay. Listen, somebody was like, Michael gave Leland that 2-piece snack with no biscuit. Can I get a 2-piece cacao?
Oh, she gave it to him.
I loved it.
I was so ready. And I'm so glad that Spock came in to talk to her,
yes,
she was like, you know what? I'm not in the mood. She's all with this foolishness. And he's there to shut her down. He like, basically he was saying how he wish he was there to see her knock him out because
said it would have been satisfying. I was like,
I was like, okay, so now he all hot and bothered by this, but then don't get mad at me now, because don't do it.
I just took a drink of water when you said that. I'm cool.
I'm like, don't be looking at me like that, because like Spock said, and I will quote, not by blood. Let me stop. I must
rated
stop.
PG-13. Small children are not allowed to watch this video.
I didn't say anything. I quoted Spock. I'm innocent.
Yeah, that's right. You are innocent. Speaking of shipping, those of you that ship anything on this show, there's only really two couples, and that's Comets and Ash and Michael.
You know what? I was like, curse y'all for making me feel something. Like when Ash and Michael, it was that.
They're really great together. Like the actors, like they are so good together. Like you can't help but ship them at times. So
man,
but
it just comes back and hits you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, their chemistry is like they're going to circle each other for 3 more seasons, and they're never going to get together. They're going to have these moments where at their most vulnerable, they know that they could trust that other person, no matter where they are or what's going on. They know that's a person they can always come back to.
Yeah, he kind of said that when she went off on him about him sticking with Section 31, and he was like,
she didn't know what
she was like, don't apologize or whatever. I just came to you and lashed out and put my anger on you. He was like, but you knew you was in a safe space, that you could do that. So I was like, and then she was like, I didn't want that to be our last conversation. I'm like, these people, they just gonna do it to me. I guess they just gonna do it to me. It's okay.
I love it so much.
I was not ready. And then Spock coming in there.
Right. Michael went through so much in this episode.
He really did.
Man,
but I mean, let's be real about it. She was sacrificing her life.
Right.
She could have died.
She did, technically.
Well, she did die. Right. She had to be brought back.
Okay. Why are we laughing?
I don't know. We're terrible.
So let's move on. We had some really great moments with Culber and Stamets in this episode. I really liked Culber being able to sit down and talk to the Admiral about his experience. And I really loved Stamets and Giorgio. Giorgio is making moves. A few episodes back, we saw her trying to get Leland pushed out of the inner circle, where they're like, oh, anyway, Leland, I hear Giorgio had an idea, like that's enough. And so she's making moves. I think she's trying to get one of them to work for her, either Stamets or Culber. I think she wants a smart mind to work for her in Section 31. I think that's what she's trying to do. There's a reason why Culber keeps wearing black and he's not going back into a uniform yet. I
feel like they teasing it.
I think so too. And I'm not 100% sure about this, But do you think Leland is dead? Someone compromised his security system where he said, okay, I'm going to unlock the controls and boost more power to our beam. So he had to go in and do the pupil scan to say that it was him.
See,
and a needle jumped out and poked him in the eye and he fell over. But I thought I heard his voice say, okay, it's done. So is he just blinded in one eye?
No, I thought that it was taking over his body. Like, that's what I thought.
Like they did to Arium.
Right.
So control is still doing stuff.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
Control not about to give up.
That's true. Oh man, this is going to be amazing. So, last but not least, we find out at the beginning of the episode that Michael Burnham is the Red Angel because of a piece of biometric DNA that's linked onto Arium. And it's a match to Michael. But I think as it turns out, it's just enough that's in common that it could be someone who shares DNA with Michael. She has to go through this whole thing. In order for the Red Angel to show up, Michael has to be in danger. So they go to this planet and there's no breathable atmosphere. They put her out there, just let her suffocate.
Oh my God. It was hard to watch. And the way she was screaming.
Oh my God. Like Tilly was just like, so they're like, Tilly, report. And she's like,
right?
Everybody, I mean, it was like watching a train wreck. Like, it's terrible, but you can't look away. I personally was pacing. I was like, somebody save her. And then Spock was like, I was literally standing up yelling at the screen. And my mom was like, Mary, are you okay? I was like, it's just Star Trek. And when Colbert and Georgiou go out, like Georgiou, I'd never seen her that animated. Like, get her, that was crazy to me. And I don't know if Georgiou necessarily didn't want the Red Angel to show up or if she was that worried about Michael. Because she's always...
No, I think she was that worried about Michael. Like, let's not underestimate her feelings for Michael.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And Michael was her daughter in the mirror universe, her actual, like, adopted child. So she does have... Like, even though they're from different universes, they have a deep love for each other that I feel like is like a familial, deep, close love. So I agree. But I'm always like not trusting her because she's a Terran. You know what I mean?
You know what? I agree. But I feel like what her feelings for Michael are something that we can trust. Like, I feel like that's not something that she's lying about.
Right.
Everything else, yes.
It's true.
Everything else, but not about Michael. Like, I really feel like she loves him.
That's true. And speaking of mother figures, Michael dies. She goes flatline. And the Red Angel shows up. Spock has to put a gun on them to keep them from going to save her. He's like, I swear the Red Angel is coming. Does anybody ever listen to Captain Pike? He's like, that's an order. It's like, nah.
Anyway. No, I don't think they respect him at all.
I kind of hate that for him, but it all pays off because the Red Angel shows up, resuscitates Michael. They catch her in the containment field. She comes out of the armor, and Michael says, Mom?
Well, we see it's not Michael. As soon as they put, they shoot to her falling out of, and she looks up, you see it's not Michael. You like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, I was all ready for Michael, doppelganger.
Now, this is what I'm going to say. Paradoxes. If it was Michael, it would not make any sense. Because, so the world that we know, the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, that happens. And at the end of that, like in Voyager, where they say in the 29th century, there's an apocalypse. So someone who knows that has to go back in time and keep Michael Burnham from dying. I think people are going back in time saying, well, what can we change in the past that would change the future? Just like in The Flash. If we stop this person from dying, maybe that'll change what happens in the future. Like Barry trying to save his parents, that created Flashpoint. Yeah. So this is a person, I feel like it's not just Michael's mom. I think they gave her the mantle. I'm not sure. Obviously, we're going to find out next week. But this is a person that had to save Michael in the past to keep her from dying in that Vulcan swamp. So it couldn't have been Michael, but Michael's mom, I'm like, well, she died too. Unless we find out that there was some escape attempt. Maybe both of her parents are alive and Michael had to go through all of that for nothing. Like,
oh my God.
I'm not
That's
ready.
exactly what I said when she looked up and she was like, Mom, I'm like, Michael had to go through all of this for nothing. They just wasn't going to tell her that they escaped.
She had a mama this whole time.
Right, I was upset.
You have to be grown up, like brought up Vulcan.
Right. She could have been human. She could have been, having Sunday dinner at the table with her parents.
I give up. But anyway, a fun little Easter egg that I was thinking about was when they're talking about technological leaps being made on Earth and on other planets being tied back to time travel. The first thing that I thought of was the Next Generation movie, First Contact, when they came back to make the warp drive. So the humans could have first contact with the Vulcans. I was like, oh, time travel. So I feel like as much as Star Trek has played around with time travel, who knows what's really going on? Like, I'm super excited to go back and watch next week. There's only 4 more episodes, Denise. 3 more episodes. I'm stressed.
I really need to see how they're going to wrap this up in 3 episodes?
No, I'm sorry, 4. There's 14 episodes. Yeah.
It's rough.
But they did this to us last year. They had this huge thing, and the very last episode was, nah. Remember that?
Yeah, so I remember.
They better not do this to us this year. I'm going to be mad. So anyway, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.